I'm not feeling like I'm deprived. That, when I said it's dangerous to say this, but like, it's not that difficult now. I don't feel deprived because the things that I feel like I want and crave, to satisfy me, in the way of like a junk food or, a treat, uh, I'm still getting adequate dosage of that and, my fix, um, throughout most of the week. And I really just tighten the screws for like the last day or two of the week. And it gets me, the desired result. And every week I just keep on getting down lower and lower and lower. So, it really helps that I have time on my side and that I'm not, like the same mentality that I used to be where I need it all done a week. I got to lose 100 pounds in a week. That is a huge ally right now, is just being patient and, slow and steady. But at the same time, finding that, just the 1 pound or more is a really satisfying number to see that progress on the scale, and having that as my goal every week is really being able to be content with that is a sweet spot. If I can exceed it, that's amazing. But if I get that, then I know I'm moving in the right direction and I don't feel like I'm deprived. I'm still able to have a candy bar, 4 or 5 days a week. I can have this week, people start giving you gifts and they give you a little box of chocolate, I mean, I didn't have to go to the candy, to get a candy bar from the store this week. They started bringing them to me, and I popped them like pills, I mean, it was just like the next little fix of medicine. So, and but I still lost the pound, 1.1 or something. So
1.1.
Yeah. So like, I was really smart about whatever else I did that day, but I wasn't deprived. I was happy with everything else I ate. I'm eating good quality food. It's healthy. I'm good. I'm very happy. I'm satisfied. I don't need as much food to eat. I don't, it's less of an emotional experience. There are moments where I do get, if I'm super stressed, that's still an issue. And maybe that'll never stop being an issue. If stress overtakes me, that can really be a dangerous spot. But when things are in balance, and thankfully that's the majority of time, then, this trend should continue. I really don't see anything over the long haul stopping me. As long as we don't have, the holidays 52 weeks a year, and people in my life don't push me,
Yeah. Yes, you said something about that pretty much sums up why this is a difference maker for you. And that's because you pop them like the candy, the chocolates like candy, one after another, but then you tightened up the diet for the rest of the day. That tightening up the diet, the fact that you're making a conscious effort to eat a certain way at certain times to make up for what could be damage if you continue to eat the candy every single meal, every single day, probably wouldn't be reporting a 1.1 pound weight loss. So you do enough good to outweigh the bad. And that is what a lifestyle is all about. It's about doing more good than bad. You want to make sure that you do enough good to be able to achieve the goal. And the goal is consistent weekly weight loss so that we can get down to that ultimate goal. And that's exactly what you're doing. And you're doing it in such a way. And the reason it doesn't feel like a job or it doesn't feel like a huge sacrifice is because you do allow the foods that you enjoy, the foods that you would normally be eating when you're not on a diet and you haven't been on a diet most of your life. And you're eating those foods, but you are also uh, making a conscious effort to determine how much of those foods you're eating. And in certain meals, you make up for that by becoming a lot more strict than you've ever been before, and what it is that you eat at certain meals. So that's the consistency of that, of the fact that you always have in the forefront of your mind that I'm having a good time, but I'm also trying to achieve a goal. They can coexist
Absolutely.
at the same. And this is what people don't understand. It's one or the other. Either I'm binge eating and I'm gaining weight, or I'm Spartan eating where I deprive myself of everything that has flavor and I'm losing weight. No, it's not one or the other. That's yo-yo. What I just described is I lose weight, I gain weight, I lose weight, I gain weight. And it's constantly either you're on weight loss or you're on weight gain. And in the end, weight gain always wins because those binges are always going to outweigh the restriction. There's no way you can out restrict your binge. You binge, you binge for a length of time, you can quickly gain weight and then you get discouraged and you just keep binging because then you get frustrated and the frustration. How do you get rid of the frustration? Well, I binge because that makes me forget. Then you binge some more and then you get frustrated some more. So it means you binge some more and before you know it, you're heavier than you've ever been. So you know
That
how the
sounds really
cycle
familiar.
goes. Yes. So now what you're doing instead is you're not binging. It's you're consuming foods that you enjoy, but you're moderating their intake naturally just because you remember what you're trying to achieve, what we're trying to achieve. And that's the weekly weight loss. So you want to show up here and you want to report good news because you want to feel good. You want to make me feel good. You want other people to see what you're achieving and you want to get to the goal. So that's a part of your life now. Every single decision you make throughout the weeks revolves, when it comes to food, revolves around that, right?
Yeah.
To some extent, like you're thinking, I'm going to have fun this meal, and then you're thinking, how far am I going to go? What am I going to do the next meal? You're always trying to juggle, so that way, in the end, you report at least 1 pound down.